Okay, so I'm doing how to make the best chocolate chip cookies. So with that in mind, you should always pull up a good recipe to make it and make sure that it has 5 stars if you don't have a homemade recipe. So this is my chocolate chip cookie recipe. I've had it for years now. I've always used it and it's always worked really well, and it's really quick and really easy. So when baking in the kitchen, you should always make sure that everything's prepped and clean and ready to be cooked in there, and that it's always sanitized. Before starting any video or any type of recipe, whether you are making soup or a sandwich or anything and everything, you should always reread the recipe and the instructions before getting started. So for mine, these are the instructions. So this is all the material you'll need to make the best chocolate chip cookies. So you're gonna need 1 1/4 cups all-purpose flour. Then you're gonna need 1/2 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/2 cup of butter, which is 1 stick if you don't know what a cup of butter is. And then 1/2 cup granulated sugar, 1/4 cup packed brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 large egg, and 1 cup semi-sweet chocolate chips. And then you're going to preheat the oven before you put all your ingredients together in a bowl. You're gonna, in one separate bowl, you're gonna combine flour, baking soda, and salt in this small bowl. So you should always grab your stuff before. The third, you're gonna, in a stand mixer with a paddle attachment, beat butter, granulated sugar, brown sugar, and vanilla extract until creamy. Add egg and beat well about 20 seconds. 4, you're gonna gradually beat in flour mixture until combined. 5, you're gonna add chocolate chips and mix for another 10 seconds. And then 6, you're gonna drop by rounded tablespoons onto ungreased baking sheet. And then for the last one, you're gonna bake for 9 to 11 minutes or until golden brown. Let stand for 2 minutes, remove to wire racks to cool completely. Next, you should grab all the stuff you need. You're always gonna come over and then turn on your oven. So you're gonna press bake right there. And you're gonna turn it to 350, so it says 350, and then you press start. And then once it's done heating up, you're gonna throw it right into the oven, place it on the middle rack, and then wait about 9 to 12 minutes until your cookies are cooked. Next, you should grab all the stuff you need. This recipe requires 2 bowls, so here's my first bowl, and then my second bowl. In this one, we're gonna put the flour, the sugar, the brown sugar, and then mix that all together with the baking soda as well. And this is gonna be for my wet ingredients. And so this is all my ingredients. I already grabbed all of it out, but you need the chocolate chips, sugar, flour, baking soda, butter, eggs, vanilla, and here's my salt. And then I got my measuring spoon so I can have that all ready when I need to put them in the bowls. And then here's my pan. I'm gonna use a pizza pan just because I don't have a regular square pan. And then this is my wax paper just so that the cookies don't stick to the pan. So in my dry bowl, first I'm going to do 1 cup and 1/4 of flour. Here's my flour, so you're just gonna put it in the bowl. Just dump it like so. Next I'm gonna put in the baking soda. Baking soda. Last dry ingredient is salt. A teaspoon of salt. Before also adding in all your ingredients, make sure you measure them out correctly. If not, they won't turn out good. Once all those ingredients are added, you're just gonna mix them with a little whisk like this. Make sure that you combined it all well. And then set it aside for the next step. This is the next bowl we're gonna use for the wet ingredients, and we're gonna put the sugar, the brown sugar, the butter, and vanilla and eggs in there. We're first gonna put in a stick of butter. If you don't have a stick of butter and just like a carton of butter, you're gonna have to grab a spoon in order to get the butter out of the measuring cup. Get the butter out, you're gonna have to go like this and just scoop it all out and make sure you get all of it in there, because you need to make sure you have the correct amount of butter. It's that simple. Next, we're gonna add 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Mind too, the brown sugar is the only complicated one that you have to put in because you really need to make sure that you pack the cup of it as hard and as firm as you can. So when it comes out, it's gonna look like a solid piece. Perfect. Next, we're gonna add in just regular sugar. You just put the vanilla in like so. Last thing you're gonna add into that mix is just 1 egg, and you're just gonna crack it on the side and just break it into there. Make sure you don't get any shell in there because that's gonna make your cookies crunchy. Next, you're gonna stir all that together, and it should come out pretty creamy because you're gonna blend it in with all the flour and the rest of the stuff. So it should look like this. Once you finish mixing in all the wet ingredients together, you're gonna pour them into where the dry ingredients are. Make sure you get all of it in there. So you're gonna combine all this together and make sure that you get all the flour to where it's blended in perfectly. Pour it in there, you're just gonna mix it in for about 10 seconds or more, however much you need. Get all your cookies onto the pan. They'll look a little bit like this, but usually they'll be more of a ball, but I just kind of put mine on there like this. But you need to make sure that you always have space in between so that when they are cooking, they don't go squish into each other. Open the oven, and you could see that your cookies could either be more floury or more puffy. And when they're puffy like this, that's a good way to do it. And you take it out and you're just gonna set it right on top. I'm super excited to eat them. You can put them on a plate like this and they're ready to be served and eaten. And look how good they look. Oof, I can't wait to eat those. Yum.